I should have left sooner. Have you said those words yourself? I know I surely did. Maybe you have looked back on your relationship and wondered why you stayed as long as you did, why you tolerated certain behaviors and ignored certain signs, why you kept trying when a part of you already knew it wasn't working. I have coached many people who came to me to re-enter the dating world after long relationships that ended. And almost every single one of them said, I should have left sooner. I remember myself saying the same thing. My second marriage lasted 12 years, on paper that is. And I should have left sooner, but I was scared. But what if the problem is not that you stayed too long? What if the problem is that you have not forgiven yourself yet for staying? People don't stay because they're weak. People stay because they may be trying to make it work, holding on to the hope that the things will get better. They stay because they're afraid of being alone. They stay because they have children and they feel they would be betraying them by splitting up the family. They may stay because of financial concerns, or perhaps because the familiar almost always feels safer than the unknown. And they may stay because they simply don't yet have the emotional tools, confidence, or self-awareness to make a different decision. So if you have stayed longer than you should have, please know that you made the best decisions you could with the awareness and the resources you had at that time. Your emotional resources, financial, physical resources. Were those resources perfect? Probably not, but they were what you had at that time. And that's really important to understand. So now, years later, you look back and you see the red flags. Now you see the conversations you should have had. Now you see the boundaries you should have set. And suddenly it feels so obvious. But of course, it feels obvious now. It feels easier to connect the dots looking back. The person you are today has the knowledge, the wisdom, and the experience that the person you were back then did not have. It's very easy to judge yesterday's version of yourself using today's awareness. But hindsight creates clarity. It should not create self-condemnation, though. Unfortunately, many people take that clarity and turn it into evidence against themselves. They start saying things like, I wasted years, I should have known better, I can't believe I stayed, I was so stupid. I personally said all of those. But this is where growth stops. Because shame doesn't create growth. Shame creates stagnation. It keeps you stuck in the past. Shame will have you replaying old conversations. It will keep you questioning your worth. The relationship may have ended, but shame keeps you emotionally still living there. And as long as you stay rooted in shame and self-punishment, you will have no real chance at love again. You want to focus on growth and healing, and it starts with self-compassion. Now, self-compassion, though, is not the same thing as avoiding accountability. Self-compassion is accountability, but without self-destruction. It's being honest enough to say, yes, I made mistakes. I screwed up. I ignored things I should not have ignored. I tolerated things I should not have tolerated. And at the same time, self-compassion is saying, I was learning, I was growing, I was doing the best I could with what I knew. Everyone makes mistakes. That's part of being a human. In fact, one of the things that makes people more attractive, more relatable, and easier to connect with is not perfection. It's self-awareness and accountability. It's the willingness to own your mistakes and learn from them. People connect with humanity, not perfection. So how do you actually make this shift? I'll give you 3 practical steps. Step number 1, replace judgment with curiosity. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? Ask, what was I trying to protect? What need was I trying to meet? What fear was influencing me and my decisions? Curiosity creates understanding. Judgment creates shame. Okay? Now, step number 2, extract the wisdom. Sit down and write 2 lists. The first list, what do I wish I had done differently? And the second list, what do I know now because of that experience? Every painful experience contains wisdom. Your job is to find it. The lesson is often the gift hidden inside the mistake. And step number 3, make 1 new commitment to yourself. What boundary will you set sooner next time? What conversation will you have earlier next time? What behavior will you no longer ignore? Because wisdom only becomes wisdom when it changes the behavior. Otherwise, it's just information. And at the end of the day, you have a choice. You can continue beating yourself up. You can continue hating yourself for wasting time. You can continue replaying old mistakes and carrying that regret into every new connection. Or you can choose self-compassion, self-honesty. You can choose accountability and wisdom. Your past was not given to you so that you could punish yourself. Your past was given to you so that you could learn. Shame and self-hatred will keep you stuck in the past. Self-compassion and wisdom will move you forward toward love. So the question is, which one do you choose?